For more on the growing ties between China and the Netherlands, I spoke to Frank Pieke. He's the director and CEO of the Mercator Institute for China Studies. That's a Berlin-based research group. And I asked him how crucial China is to the Netherlands economy and vice versa.
Well, the Netherlands is a very important trade partner to China, and the other way around as well. Trade is going up to almost 60 billion euros at the moment, which is an enormous amount of money, particularly compared to the past. Moreover, the Netherlands, together with the United Kingdom, that however will soon leave the EU, is probably the country in Western Europe that is most connected to China, is most willing to also connect to China, particularly economically, but also to a certain extent politically. And that is an important reason as well to visit the Netherlands.
We know that the Netherlands is the second largest trading partner of China in the EU. Talk about the nature of that relationship and how it's changed over the years.
Well, it has changed in the sense that trade has shot up massively from China, of course, in the last 15 years, and export from the Netherlands to China has lagged behind. But the last 2 or 3 years, export from the Netherlands to China has also started growing very fast, in fact, much faster than the growth of Chinese imports into the Netherlands. So there is a little bit of a rebalancing, but the imbalance is still very, very large, much larger percentage-wise than, for instance, for the United States. So it is a very extreme picture. However, we have to remember that a lot of the import from China in the Netherlands is also then re-exported to other countries in Europe. Particularly Germany, where I'm at the moment, but also other countries in Europe. The Netherlands is always said to be the gateway to Europe, or you could say the gateway at least to Western Europe, and as such that it plays an even more important role, I think, in the overall trade network for China.
Let's also look at the Netherlands' position on China's Belt and Road Initiative. What sort of opportunities do you see there, and how do you see both countries benefiting?
Well, it is, of course, it would be, let's put it this way, it would be very easy to make an argument for the Belt and Road ending in the Netherlands in Rotterdam Harbour, which is still the largest harbour by far in Europe, and I think still the 3rd or the 4th largest harbour in the world. However, that is not all of the story, because in the Netherlands we're also quite aware of the fact that trade coming now more from the east, perhaps than from the west, that countries positioned more towards the east of Europe are ultimately perhaps in a more favorable position. We see that already with the construction of the Chinese-owned Piraeus harbor in Greece. We see it with the rapid construction of the harbor in Duisburg, in this country, Germany. So in the Netherlands, people and policymakers are very much aware that the Belt and Road might be good news, but to preserve that good news, they have to do their homework.
Which are some of the sectors that you see that really could be ripe for more cooperation?
Obviously, the Netherlands is known for several things, but one of the things it is known for still is for very high-tech industries. For instance, the semiconductor industry, you just mentioned the high-grade batteries for cars and things like that. Obviously, there are opportunities there, and that's also why in these sectors, these deals have just been signed, and they are big deals and they're important to the Netherlands and also to China. But there are also voices in the Netherlands saying that we should also be aware of technology transfer that comes with these investments from the Netherlands in China, which of course is not necessarily a bad thing, because it's a normal part of trade relationships, but nevertheless you should watch this, that it remains within the overall framework of fair and just trade relationships between the two countries. And that is something that a debate is about now currently in the Netherlands, as it is also elsewhere in Europe.
Now, as we know, China does continue to open up its markets, perhaps not at the pace as some foreign investors would like. But just give us an idea quickly, are there particular sectors that the Netherlands would like to get into when it comes to accessing the Chinese market?
Well, for the Netherlands, agriculture is always very, very important. But also services industries, for instance, the banking industry, the insurance industry. The Netherlands is also very broad, as I said, in terms of high technology sectors. And also, for instance, the food industry is really, really important in the Netherlands. So there too, the Netherlands is seeking as much access as possible. For the Netherlands, also oil and energy are important. You shouldn't forget that Shell Oil is partly, in part, a Dutch company. It's not only a British company, it's also a Dutch company. And as such, that sector too is crucially important to the Netherlands. So the economic relationship are driven by small to medium-sized companies that operate in high technology sectors, in the food industry, in agriculture, but then also in services and the banking world, and then very, very large multinationals that have a vested interest in sectors like the oil sector, again, high technology through Philips and so on and so forth.